Hey, I'll be talking about my new TMB, Third Millennium Bible. Let me do this before I forget. It is a thick little hardcover, dust cover, 9 1/4 tall, 5 3/4 wide, and I didn't measure it, but it's probably that's like 2 inches thick. White page edges, thin paper. So I got this last week at a bookstore for $20. I think I'd heard of it, but I'm not really sure. So it looked like just one of those translations that never caught on. Maybe they're trying to, be a new King James. But anyway, I'll talk about it here. So new authorized version. That's their claim. They claim it's an update, not a revision or a translation. Let me show you this right away. So here's like a burgundy hardcover with the gold, kind of nice, but I'll keep the cover on it for now. There's glue, but here's a tailband. The head and tailband are the same, and it looks clearly like this thing has signatures, but I can't speak 100% on the sewing if it's a sewn binding. So you've seen it from the outside. So let me see here. I'll talk about the text block in a moment. This is an updating, they claim, so you can read that. Let me focus. So, interesting if you want to read that. So, they're just trying to do an update to the King James. But after reading some of it, I've only had it for about a week. No changes in meaning. There's some interesting things about it, and it's kind of a nice text block. It's a little weird because it's a chunky little Bible, but anyway. This has the Deuterocanonical / Apocrypha books, or other way around. So here, there. So actually, this is interesting. The back inside sleeve has something to it. Then we'll look at the back. So they're showing you an example of the AV, the KJV, and then the TMB, which we're looking at. But sometimes, let's see here, the meaning of some words in current usage has changed over the past 400 years in TMB. These words have been replaced with modern synonyms where appropriate. But I'm surprised some of the words, I'll show you a few examples, stay completely the same, where the newer translations would change it, even the New King James. And if you happen to stumble across this video, and you're like KJV only or King James, what is that? Nothing for you to see. Move on. Just get one and read it. Don't go down that rabbit hole. It's not fun. Let's see here. My phone just acted up. I'm sorry. Here, this is interesting. For words that may change the meaning of something or just not have the impact, this is interesting. So the modern version's on the right, and then AV and TMB on the left. So this is what this is going for. I'll probably kind of look at the text block kind of quick. So there's a guarantee if you want to try to read that. Here, let me zoom out. There we go. There they are. This has no maps, no red letter, but it's different. It's unique. There's something else. It's like they changed the font type. It's bolder, and they slightly italicize it. So if you don't like red letter, but you don't mind it kind of standing out, the Jesus in red, you might like this. So the Apocrypha is in the middle of the Testaments, so it doesn't change the order as much. You know what I mean? This is interesting. Then they have copyright, so it goes back to 1998. Hardcover. I looked all around. I don't know if you want one of these. Sorry, I had to adjust there. You might have to go to eBay or Amazon. I've checked some of my usual sources. See if they give you Old Testament. Here, let me do this for you. Sorry. And then they give you Apocrypha, which will be in the middle. Then the New Testament. Then alphabetical order. They give you some explanations of stuff, features and format. Let's see here. There's something, because this is like my... Oh, that's interesting. Updated words. Obsolete words and also archaic words, which are not generally understood, have been updated by substitutional of the Webster's. You can read that. What I wanted to see is the... is when there's like there's not many references, but they put little asterisks and they just refer you to the bottom of the page. So I think that keeps it from having a bunch of numbers and letters in there, or letters I should say. Cross references, there we go. Footnotes consisting of the cross reference which appeared in the marginal notes of the original authorized version of the 1611 have been included. Additional gospel parallel cross references are also included. So they don't. It's a single column paragraph, but here I'll show you one more thing, then we'll go to the back. I found this interesting. This thing has the updaters to the reader, and then I talk about who, what, when, or why they probably updated it. So a couple pages, and you go into the Old Testament. But one moment. We're now looking at the back. See, it's that prominent bold-faced verse numbers. So even though it's single column and a paragraph, it makes it a lot easier to find verse numbers. Because sometimes stuff like that can irritate me, you know. I'll be steady here. There we go. All right, good enough. So it is a clunky one, and you know it comes. The text is nice because you have this space to come out of the gutter here. But as you, and in the middle it's fine, but as you go to the front or the back, the bulkiness of this, you have to kind of turn it to read it. But it's fine. I don't want to make it sound worse than it is. The first book. So they give you these little summaries up top. Chapter 1. Page numbers are in the middle. It starts over at the New Testament. But as you can see, let me really try to focus here. Yeah, those verse numbers, as you can see, let me see, really jump out. So it's about a 9-point font, as a healthy 9. So, and then here's what I'm talking about. See, you have these little stars or asterisks, and it refers you down here, as I was saying earlier. See, it helps when you have, you know, sometimes when it's paragraph and they have verse numbers, it blends right in, and it's just a pain. So here you got a little margin here. See, there's those signatures. But anyway, so that's the general layout. Let me go into the middle. So it's verse by verse in, I think, the poetic area. And then I'm going to... And before this is over, I'm going to give a little mention. I got a pretty good deal lately. See the Deuterocanonical Apocrypha? It's like, it's going to be half an inch or more, about a half an inch there of a stack of paper. That's all in the middle. You know, see? Wait, let me try that again. All right. Yeah. And then you can go to the New Testament of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Matthew. And you can see it's got this bar on top, and then it's a thinner bar. But when you get to a new book, you get this. And then you're going to get, again, I've seen these little summary introductions. I think it's, it might even be at every chapter. Of just kind of, I've seen it in all the King James versions, that are King James anyway. So again, another look at it. So now I'm going to show you the, here's a good example. Do you see this text here? Oh, right. You can see it, yeah, from the other side of the camera, right. See, it's like a different font. There's an introduction. I'm done coughing now. So, for those of you that don't like red letter at all, even if it's a good red letter, you just do without. This is new to me. So you have a new chapter with this summary. Here's the general text, but there it is. Instead of red letter, it's like slightly slanted and bolder. It's like a different font. So instead of red letter, you get that, and that's the layout. Now, as you get further in, you get further into the back, it does start running down. Now, it doesn't go into the gutter, but you almost have to position yourself a little bit. This does not have maps. All right. So Revelation ends on a almost single line in the back. Finis. One note page. So thank you so much. So I get two sides of it. Then you have this paper here, this end paper, and then the back, and that's what the front and back look like. Made in America. We've reviewed this already. So this is the general layout of it. So again, I think, I'm not, someone who's picky about translations, clearly. But I'm just going to review what I've seen on this. Yeah, Proverbs, verse by verse. There we go. Page number in the middle, then at the end is the book and chapter. So, here's those references, not a whole lot, but you get some from the original authorized version. So what they're trying to do is not only do an update, but put what was in the original in this. The other books. So, I don't want to miss anything. So I'm going to give you two examples. Again, I'm not making a claim, I'm just pointing out what I hear a lot from people that discuss this. Alright, we're back in Genesis. First book of Moses, called Genesis, chapter 1. And you have that. So, I'll just point out that here, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the capital S, Spirit of God, moved. So that's one example, just one example, I'm just pointing it out, where the King James, and actually the Douay Rheims and the Geneva, will be singular, heaven. And the newer translations and the New King James even have gone to heavens. So that's just one example. Let's do one more example, and I'll be done with this. 1 Corinthians, the first epistle of Paul, the apostle to the Corinthians, chapter 1 summary, you get that, and the nice verse numbers are jumping out. So, see, now I beseech you, they really did, maybe really do a sincere attempt at this, Now this is where the book gets kind of funny, so I gotta kind of angle my phone. It's not like it's a horrible one to read, it's just when you're holding a phone and you're trying to read this, see how it does that? So anyway, let me zoom in here. So 1 Corinthians 1:18, and let's focus. And for the preaching of the cross is foolishness to those who perish, but unto us who are saved it is the power of God. For it is written, and I will destroy. So obviously what I'm pointing out there is are saved. Again, Douay Rheims actually agrees with this, Geneva, and then the King James, who are saved. New King James and the other ones will say being saved. So I'm just pointing some things out, so just two of many examples where some people, I'm not taking a stance, but like to argue on translations. And I'm just pointing out maybe this one did pretty good. It's a sincere attempt. So so you can read it. It's just trying to hold the camera here is kind of a pain. It curves pretty deep because it's such a chunky thing. Glue, I don't know. I think we talked about that. Anyway, but I showed you this. I think I'm trying to review everything in my head. Showed you the back, dust cover, hardcover. I think it's sewn. But yeah, I never thought I would pick up, like one of these off translations, Third Millennium. I'm like, eh. But you know what? It might be pretty solid. I'm leaving this out. I'm going to try to read it and see how I feel about it. I'll have my couple other translations, as I always do, right next to me. So that's what this is. $20. I'm gonna give an honorable mention. Well, unfortunately, the Lifeway near me in the Midwest, and I think nationwide they're closing down Lifeway Christian stores. So they've been having a fire sale. So getting rid of their inventory. They're moving online, I guess. Someone said to me at the store, it's like for every one item they sell, maybe even it's nationwide, all the online, they sell 5 items. So they got to move online. Anyway, let me sit back. So things are getting really cheap, and I'm getting a little out of hand. You have no idea what I've gotten. So I mean, this was from another bookstore, but another one I got just yesterday, and I won't show it because you've seen them enough, is the Ryrie. Now, I had a Ryrie Study Bible, NASB, Black Genuine Leather, but I didn't find myself going to that one as much. And the translation's fine, NASB, and I wanted to see. But anyway, what I did was I ended up selling that one. And anyway, I saw one at the Lifeway, Black Genuine Leather, Ryrie, KJV, and I like the layout in the KJV a little more. It's they have little wider margins with references in them, but some writing room. And anyway, $18. So what's weird is I ended up ultimately exchanging, because I had to sell the NASB Ryrie for much less than I wanted, but that's about what I got. So because it got so cheap, $18. I mean, I normally wouldn't have justified spending that kind of money, but for $18, I have a single column CSB, very nice, readable, larger font. But I might talk about that one. So, because I'm going to send some more gifting some Bibles away. The next box is packed up. It's going to go out to California. And not that you needed proof, but there's the box. And I'm back turned around. So I kind of let myself, for these prices, I mean, it was like 90% off some things. I got 70% off the Ryrie. And I mean, just huge discounts, 60, 70, and it keeps going up. So, but anyway, I had a B-day last month, birthday, and this will be an upcoming video. I'm sure you're really excited. Let me move this out of the way. I hope you appreciate what I do for you. I'm joking. So I had gift cards, as I always ask for gift cards, and I've been looking at the Orthodox Study Bible for quite a while. So this is I can't say I gift to myself. I use gift cards, but I saw they had leatherette, soft leatherette. Otherwise, they're usually in hardcover. So we'll take a look at this. This is the whole Old Testament, New Testament is translated from the Greek Septuagint. I'll take a look at that. But we'll just take a quick look at it. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of a cool burnt orange. It does have the icons on the cover. I mean, no, it doesn't, actually. I was thinking of something else. But it has like a... Anyway, we'll take a look at it on my next video. I like having them as a reference point. Even if I'm not regularly in them, it's here. And, so that'll be interesting. Oh, gosh. Heck. 18 minutes right now. Anyway. All right, so... that was fun. Have a good night.